All right, what is going on, Lions fans and One Pride Nation? Son, last night our boys did it under the lights, prime time in Baltimore, 38-30, 6.5 point underdogs. Lions beat the Ravens. We beat a top 5 Super Bowl contending team. What were your thoughts on the game last night, son?
Okay, right. It was an absolute domination from the Lions. The score did say 38-30, but no, the game was not 38-30. Like one of the commentators were saying after the game, it was more of a 48-20 game, to be honest. It was absolute domination from the Lions from about the second quarter. If I'm not trying to be like LeBron and LeBron be lying, I knew we were gonna win the game. I said it on TikTok. Guys, we work them. That's a Super Bowl winning team. That's the freaking Lions that we expect week in and week out. We're back.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. People were throwing dirt. Even some of us Lions fans were throwing dirt on the Lions after that Packers game because the Packers just totally dominated our boys. But they showed that they weren't dead yet. They showed that John Morton and Calvin Shepard know what they're doing. And not only, they beat the Ravens. It wasn't a fluke game. They beat the Ravens. Both teams have equally as many injuries. So it's not like one team had more injuries than the other. It was just a nice beat down of the Ravens. Really a nice complete game. When I say beat down, I don't mean that disrespectfully because the Ravens played a good game and they played well, but the Lions just dominated the Ravens. So, son, let's get right into it and let's look at the scores. And son, let's start with the offense. And we're gonna go by and give our grades like we usually do. Quarterback Jared Goff, 20 for 28, 202, 1 touchdown, no picks, 0 sacks.
Right. So the truth is, it was just a beautiful game from Jared Goff. He picked up his yards per. He picked up his yards per attempt. It was 7. No, is that yards per completion? That's yards per completion. So he had about a 7.2 yards per completion. The game that we lost against the Packers, it was about 5.0. So it was really low. It was nice to see it picked up. It was a really efficient game for Jared Goff, and I really liked how he looked. Are we just talking about Jared Goff right now?
Yeah, just talking about Jared Goff.
Right. Yeah, it was a very nice game from Jared Goff, and I have to shout out the offensive line right now. The offensive line was amazing the whole game, and the reason why Jared Goff looked so good was because we gave him time to throw the ball. Man, like the commentator said a good thing yesterday. If Jared Goff doesn't have to step outside the pocket, if you cannot disrupt him, dude, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I'm not gonna lie, if not the best, if he's not disrupted in the pocket, he's extremely consistent. 20 for 28 this week. He was 31 for 39 last week. So he's basically continuing the same thing that he did last year. Just keep being a good game manager. He's one of the best game managers in football ever, I think. Truly.
And this is the thing about Jared Goff. I'm gonna give him an A minus, and I'm gonna tell you what. The only reason I didn't give him a higher grade was because he had one throw where he missed St. Brown, which is what it is. But then it was that one play where he thought about running for the first down, and Roquan Smith was in the middle of the field. He realized he wasn't gonna get it, so he did that funky jumping sidearm and threw it in the dirt to Khalif Raymond. Those really were his only 2 bad plays of the entire game. I thought that Jared Goff was on one last night. What's your grade on Jared Goff?
I would give Jared Goff an A.
Okay. Let's roll from that 0 sacks. Let's roll right into the offensive line, son. I thought that I said in our Packers video that I thought that the offensive line was the key reason that the Lions lost that game. The offensive line did not look in sync. Last night, the offensive line was not playing games last night. I'm going to give them an A. I thought that they looked where the interior did their thing. The bookends, they said that Taylor Decker might have been a little hurt. He didn't look hurt to me last night.
No.
The offensive line held up. What was your thoughts on the O-line last night?
Right. The offensive line, they looked amazing. You could tell they had a chip on their shoulder. Like you said, I could not tell Taylor Decker was hurt. Everyone looked amazing. They look like they're truly meshing. And the main thing I just noticed about the offensive line was I would say the run protection more than anything. They were overall really good with everything, but it was just nice to be able to see David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have their way. It pretty much looked like every single game looked last year. They looked like an all-pro offensive line. They looked back. They looked like a normal Lions offensive line. Normal to us, as in top 3 offensive line in the league. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, they looked very good.
Yes, because the last, I'm going to say 2 to 3 seasons, the Lions have had a top 3 offensive line. Of course, we were all wondering what it was going to look like because Frank Ragnow retires. Kevin Zeitler goes to the Tennessee Titans, and Glasgow is still there, but he moves into center. So we were all wondering, was the offensive line going to look? Last night, the offensive line looked top notch. Speaking of that, let's move right into the running backs. 224 yards total with 4 touchdowns. 151 by Montgomery, 67 by Gibson. What was your thoughts on the running backs last night?
Right. I thought the running backs looked amazing. I mean, as you can tell, David Montgomery had that insane 72-yard run. Pretty sure it was in the second half that happened. It was a very good momentum shifter. And it was just, I mean, as you can see, what did they have? 2 touchdowns apiece? I mean, they just had their way with them, man. Like, the running backs looked amazing. It's pretty much exactly what I expect out of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. It's very hard to explain. It was a surprise because I was not expecting us to work the Ravens like that. But it was not a surprise because we know David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are very talented. So they did what was expected of them. And I think they're going to have a way bigger game. I think they're going to go for I think they're going to go for over 300 very soon, as in versus the Giants. I think that's going to be very fun.
I think so too. I think it's very possible. We all know that the Lions offense is based around the running game. You have to be able to get the play action going. John Morton had that going last night. The running game, really stole the show and I think sealed the victory. Let's move on to, what's your grade for the running backs?
An A.
Likewise. I give him A. Let's move on to the receivers. Jared Goff hit 6 receivers, but he targeted 7. Tesla was targeted once, but he didn't get a catch. But look at the receivers. Jameson Williams. This is what you call having weapons, like that movie we saw a couple weeks ago. Jameson Williams, 2 for 4-3. I thought he was gonna have a bigger game than that because Jared Goff went to him quick in the first quarter. Now the next 3 quarters, Williams did not have a catch. Amon St. Brown, 7 for 77. Laporta, it seemed like Laporta had more than 4 catches. Gibbs had 5 out of the backfield. Leaf and Montgomery had a catch apiece. What were your thoughts on the receivers?
Yeah, I thought the receivers looked very good. They caught most of the passes that were targeted for them. Mm-hmm. As you can see, Jahmyr Gibbs caught 5 of his 6 targets. Amon St. Brown led it with 7 of his 8 targets. They looked very good. Amon St. Brown continues to prove that he's unstoppable. He cannot be stopped. There's no one in the league that can stop him. And before we continue, the injuries would not. I do have to get that out of the way. The injuries for the Ravens would not have made a difference, unfortunately. Jair Alexander was injured, but the truth is he would have been busy trying to cover J-Mo or Amon-Ra. So the problems would have been there regardless. If Amon-Ra didn't have a big game, then it would have been J-Mo. J-Mo didn't have a big game, it would have been Amon-Ra. They had Nate Wiggins. They had quite a bit of their defense. And like you mentioned, the Lions had a lot of injuries. So, no, the receivers looked amazing. And they would have looked amazing regardless, no matter who was out there on the field. But the numbers wouldn't have looked any different. It was just a brilliant game plan for the receivers. They were nice.
I agree. And like you said, it's about having weapons. That's why Sam Laporta had such a good game. You might see 4 for 33, but those 4 catches were big. They were big reception. They were all like first down catches. So it's like even if they would have had, let's say, Jared Alexander out there, they would have went someplace else. Now the only thing I would say about the receivers is that I thought that was going to be the Isaac Tesla game. I thought that he would have like 3 receptions for 45, 46 yards, something like that. But the young man is coming along, and he will get there. So what would you grade the receivers?
I would have to give the receivers an A.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I'm with you. A all around on offense. Let's go to the defense. First, let's start by looking at the Ravens and what they did. Now let's look at Lamar Jackson. The Lions did a great job against Lamar Jackson, but he did not have a bad game. Right. 21 for 27 for 288 with 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Now he was sacked 7 times, which we're going to get to. Derrick Henry, it didn't seem like we held him to 50 yards. Derrick Henry was held to 50 yards. He did have a touchdown, but he also had that fumble. And then if you look at their receivers, Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews. I mean, it is what it is. And he did spread the ball around, son, but it looked like they held the receivers in check as well. What's your thoughts on that?
Right. I honestly thought the defense was amazing. I personally think Lamar Jackson, at the end of his career, he probably is going to be a top 50, top 40 quarterback of all time. I don't really think that's crazy to say. So to get worked by a Hall of Fame, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. I don't think that's crazy to say. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So to get for a Hall of Fame quarterback to have a good game is not crazy. I
No,
mean, to think that they weren't gonna do. I thought Lamar Jackson was going to do better. I thought he was going to have about 100 yards rushing. I was surprised that we
likewise.
shut him down the way we did.
Yeah,
But it
likewise.
turns out I heard the Lions actually got Malik Cunningham. Malik Cunningham, if you guys don't know, he played behind Lamar Jackson for Louisville or for the Ravens. I don't know. I'm pretty sure for Louisville. He played behind him all his life. So they brought Malik Cunningham in on the practice squad. So they pretty much had him keyed in. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought the defense was amazing. I thought our defense did really good. Jack Campbell led it with 8 solo tackles.
Hmm.
As you can see, it's always good when our safeties don't have to make many tackles because that means that they were getting to the secondary. I thought we did really good. I think we need to calm down on Tyrion on a little bit. Yes, he got worked, but who do you guys want us to get? You guys, it's all right, but we kind of do a woulda, coulda, shoulda thing. We say, oh, we should have got Nate Wiggins. How are we supposed to know?
Right.
Taron Arnold was a baller at Alabama, and if anyone says he's not, you're tripping. He still can be a really good player, and I think he is a really good player, and I think he'll get it together eventually. And I don't think there should be anyone else starting for this team. It's hard to get good corners, and
It is.
corner is one of the hardest positions in the league. I would say it's one of the hardest positions in sports in general. So I thought the defense did really good. I'd give them a B plus.
Yes, I think so too. I agree with you on that. B plus sounds great for the defense, and you're right. I'm on second out on Tyrion Arnold. The truth is this: quarterback, left tackle, cornerback. Those are the 3 hardest positions to come to the NFL playing. So he is playing a tough position. And the truth is this: he's in his second year. He's not even in his prime years yet. He can absolutely get better. Some guys do. You and I were talking last night. Some guys do come in the league that guy from the jump, but there are corners who it took them about 2 or 3 years to really get the speed of the game down, to get their technique down, to get there. And I do think that Tyrion Arnold will be there. Speaking of corners, DJ Reed, I didn't really see
Lockdown.
much go his way. I didn't see really much thrown his way all night, and he had 2 tackles. But let's talk about these sacks. This is something crazy. Talking about the Lions, 7 sacks. Al Qadim Muhammad had 2.5, and then you get 1 from Nowoski off the defensive end spot, 1 by Hutch, 1 by Derek Barnes, my guy Derek Barnes, and then Jack Campbell also got a sack. So the defense found something that they could exploit with the Ravens, and they held Lamar Jackson in check. They did not let him win the game with his legs. 7 sacks is something. It's something, and I'm with you, son. I will give them a B plus as well. Let's look at the special teams real quick. My guy Jake Bates, he went 1 for 2, 50% of the end. So it's okay. But this is the second game where he went 50%, 1 for 2. It's fine because the kick he missed was a 67-yarder.
67-yard kick.
I can't hold that against him, for missing that kick. He did make the 45-yard when it count. Jack Fox did what he does, 48.7 average, son, on 3 punts. And then let's see the return game. I guess that's not too bad, son. Sellers, 3 returns with a 26 average, almost 27 average, and then Cleve Raymond had 1 for 30 yards. Any thoughts on the special teams?
No, special teams got the job done. Yeah, they got the job done. Especially the player of the game for special teams would definitely be Jake Bates. It was a game-saving tackle to me.
It was.
I
Glad
know
you brought
some
that up.
people are acting like Justice Hill was going to get caught by the other guy. He was not going to get caught. Justice Hill was gone. You can almost tell when someone's going to return a kick because they just take off a certain way. He took off. So yeah, Jack Fox showed true NFL player. That was Jack Fox, right? Jake Bates. I'm sorry about that. Jake Bates showed basically true athletic talent right there. He lined him up and popped him. He doesn't do hitting drills, guys. If he does, it's very rare. Or not hitting drills. I'm just saying form tackling.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt he does. He'd have to do it sometimes. It only makes sense. But yeah, special teams look pretty good. I'd give him an A as well.
Yeah, I agree. It was a very good game. Fox did his thing by flipping the field, which is what you want a good punter to do, take another team out of position. All right, son. I mean, there it is, man. 38-30. We were nervous about this game because the Ravens are a good team. The Ravens are a darn good team. They are still a top 5 team. And I think that the Lions needed to beat a Super Bowl caliber team and not just beat up on, and you can't just beat the Bears and the Giants and the Browns and the Vikings or whoever. You have to beat some of these Super Bowl playoff contending teams, and they did that last night in a hostile environment under the lights. Did we forget anything, son?
No, I totally agree with what you're saying. the Ravens are probably not going to lose. I doubt they lose more than 2 games after this. So yeah, they're a pretty good team.
They are a good team.
They're a good team. It took a lot of points to beat them.
Yeah, 38 points. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's all I got.
Okay. All right, people. Well, there you have it. That's our thoughts on our Lions beating the Baltimore Ravens. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football and just any type of football. Listen, we want all of our Lions fans to jump on here and subscribe, but listen, you don't have to be a Lions fan. Go ahead, man. We just love to talk football. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and keep rocking out with us. Other than that, that's all we got. Until next time, peace.
Peace.